Hey, what's going on, everyone? And thank you for tuning in to another video. I just wanted to give a brief synopsis on once someone shows you their true character, their true selves, or whatever, believe them the first time, especially these days, because I feel like people tend to put on the front and make it appear like they are nice and everything. If you start talking to somebody for a little bit and, you're kind of digging them a little bit because it's like they're nice and they're sweet, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden it's like once they like basically reel you in, that's kind of like a way of them reeling you in. Now, not everybody, but there's some folks out there, I'm sure some can attest to it, where they're nice at first and then all of a sudden it's like a whole different person comes out. It's like, wait a minute, how come I didn't know about this person sooner? Like, why am I knowing about all this stuff now? A lot of times it could be like, it's just a bunch of craziness that you really shouldn't be wasting your time and energy on. So again, once someone shows you who they really are, just believe in them. And they didn't slip up either. They basically just gave you a preview of the type of person that they are. You know what I mean? So fool me once, lesson learned. Like, I'm sure we've all probably, or some of us have been in a situation like that where we might have been fooled the first time. Now, you fool me twice, that's a decision and a choice that, you know, that they made. And, I choose me at that point. So, trust broken is basically trust that's evicted. They can keep the betrayal, but they just can't keep access. That access has to be denied at that point, when it comes to that. And like when it comes to forgiveness, I understand, yes, forgiveness is free, but re-entry has a fee, you know. So just kind of like think about that. And not everybody, you know, can afford it. So it's just really important to just like, pay attention to how somebody like behaves. And when it comes to those warning signs, don't dismiss it or anything, you know, or those initial impressions, as those can really reflect on their character, So that's why it's always important to just like trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust your heart, you know, and, just acknowledge, a true person's self like early on if you can, rather than, making excuses or, hoping for change later, because they're not going to change. Once they get to that point, that's who they are. So actions always speak louder than words too. You know what I mean? Like people's behavior, especially like when they're being themselves, like not trying to impress or, manipulate, is really like a better indicator of, their character than what they say. And, if somebody is consistently showing those like negative traits or those negative behaviors, it's most likely a pattern, and not just like, a temporary phase that they might be in or going through. So it's really important to just save yourself time and heartache, especially, you know. And it's like when you believe somebody's actions, like especially like early on, then you can really avoid getting involved in, relationships or even like situations where you're constantly, getting hurt or disappointed. You know what I'm saying? And people reveal themselves. Um, they can only maintain a facade for so long, and then their true selves, are eventually going to surface. So if something feels off in your heart, in your gut, it's just wise to pay attention to that feeling, and try not to dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? So um, I just wanted to give a brief synopsis on that here. It was just on my mind, and like I always say, like if there's something on my mind, I'm gonna speak on it, and this is just one of them. So I'm sure there's some out there that can relate, or maybe have been in a similar type of a situation. And so, Yeah, but I do thank you guys for tuning in to another video. Again, I just want to give a brief synopsis on this here. Once someone shows you their character, believe them, and just really trust your heart, trust your gut. If something don't feel right, even in general, like if something don't feel right, usually you would just ignore it because you're saving yourself um, time, heartache, all of that stuff. So, but yeah, I'm not too sure when I'm gonna do another video again because I'm sure well, I'm not. I won't say I'm sure, but a few people was asking me like about going live and stuff like that. It's been kind of hectic. Like I've been able to post every now and then when I had any kind of time because I've been like super busy in real life. So that's why I really hadn't had time to do it as much as I was able to before. And I'm sure that's understood. So that'll be until further notice as to when I'll be doing gaming lives again or being more um, I guess consistent with the videos. Like I said, I try to post like every now and then when I can. So, but again, thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Please hit the like button if you haven't on your way in. um, I'd appreciate it if you hit it on the way out. And as always, continue to stay safe, continue to stay hydrated. Definitely these days, and this summer heat is crazy. So just stay hydrated, monitor your health too, and continue to be blessed and encouraged. All right, y'all take care and have a good one.